Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and a PMDG 777 beta tester. Welcome to a lovely Sunday afternoon on some Cathay regional ops. Now this one is actually a flight that's being operated by the 777-300ER today, and all of a sudden I start to hear myself. Interesting. Here we go. Okay. So, this is actually a flight that's been operated today by the real Cathay, flight 448 over to Kaohsiung. My apologies if I do not pronounce that correctly. Now, this one is actually a VATSIM event, even though the event is only into the opposite direction, but we are gonna fly both sectors today. Flight time is going to be in the region of approximately an hour and 10 minutes per sector, and we do expect some nice conditions all over, ending up in a lovely sunrise today. Sunrise? Sunset. You guys know what I mean. Alright, so a couple things for us to do before we can start. First of all, FS traffic, we are going to turn that one off so that we don't have any conflicting traffic in the area. And, well, that one seems to be VATSIM traffic over there. Apart from that, seems like mostly good weather conditions, but why not go ahead and have a look into our flight plan. So let's board our beautiful aircraft. We're planning to go off block here in 25 minutes. 0810 is our schedule. So first things first though, electronic flight bag, request data. Oh, lovely. It's lost all my data. How did that happen? Okay, well, that is a pity over here. So why did it lose my data? That's interesting. Okay, well, gonna save that nonetheless. So, let's give it another try. Alright, here we go. That's our route of flight. Okay then. So, let's go ahead and have a look into our flight plan, starting right over here. We're flying the Bravo Kilo Quebec Tango, Cathay 488. I had to amend the call sign slightly because all four real-world flights that are taking place on this route are already in use by other people here in VATSIM, so we have slightly amended the call sign to become 488. Alright, then let's go ahead and have a look into our forecast conditions. So we start down here with the significant weather chart. As you can see, there's actually nothing on there. It's good weather conditions all over. Going further up then towards our weather, let's have a look what we have at our airports. So Hong Kong, good weather conditions all over with the wind coming from a southwesterly direction. Runway 25 is in use today, and our destination Kaohsiung has likewise very good weather conditions. There is some forecast for thunderstorms tomorrow, but that's not gonna affect us today. Our main alternate is Taiwan International in Taipei, and as you can see, excellent weather conditions there as well. So, with all of that out of the way, we gotta make a fuel decision over here, and I'd say, since it is a VATSIM event, maybe if we take a little bit extra, that's not gonna hurt. So, instead of those planned 17.5, let's go ahead and make it 20 tons. That should be more than good. Okay then. Well, then let's go ahead and start loading that up. First things first, though. Oil quantity is good. A little bit is used already on this aircraft. The hydraulic quantities are looking good as well. Messages known and understood. Let's make a recall of everything here. Hydraulic pressure, cabin altitude, that's all associated as far as I can see down here. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's basically looking good. Well then, first things first, ADRU coming on, and second thing then, the APU is running already, so let's check our temperatures here. Yeah, 27 degrees on board, that's around about fine. With 32 outside, we can certainly live with that. Alright, so, that good stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and do the oxygen check. Well, should ideally have that one open. So, oxygen pressure is 1850 and stays 1850 as well. Excellent. Well then, okay. So, all that good stuff is done then. Looking into the chat over here, hello, Kritik Varma. Well, I hope you've seen in the meantime where we're going. Otherwise, I can show you that again. We're going to Romeo Charlie Kilo Hotel, and yes, there is a VATSIM event on that route today. Even though the event goes the other way, but it lasts for 4 hours, so we can definitely fly both routes today. Okay, so that good stuff out of the way, let me just do one quick thing here, because I just noticed that it has actually reset my tablet settings, so we just gotta redo those settings. I really have no idea as to why it did that. So weather source is gonna be from the real world, please. On-screen keyboard is not needed. Theme preference, we'll do that automatically. So distance unit, nautical miles. No, we want kilometers, because that's gonna be the interesting part for our takeoff calculation, if I'm not mistaken. We'll take feet, we'll take length units, meters. Oh no, so we gotta use nautical miles here and then meters down here. I was mistaken on that. Knots is okay, airspeed in knots is good, centigrade. We definitely want hectopascals, and we want kilograms. Oh no, I gotta do all of that stuff again. I really have no idea what just happened there. Alright, well, then let's just sign into Navigraph as well over here. Stand by 1 second. I checked all that stuff on my... or rather, it was working on my last flight, but for some reason, everything just killed it. Okay. Well, that's good. So, our IRAC is up to date anyway already. Alright, excellent. And in terms of charts, just a quick check that those things work. Yes, they do. Alright, very good. Then the last thing I need to do over here is to enter my Hoppy code, and my apologies for just giving you a little screensaver over here. Obviously, I cannot show you my Hoppy code on screen, since that could potentially have some consequences. I do apologize for this little interruption over here. It's, I really have no idea. Just yesterday my simulator reset itself, well, reset all its settings and stuff, and now is sitting here and I have to reset my simulator settings as well. I really know, or rather my EFB settings as well. I really have no idea why that is. Alright, well, so that's pretty much everything set up now, so let's continue with our pre-flight, and we'll go right over to the FMC down here. Also, we can already set this one up for the en route chart, respectively for the safe taxi chart. That's it. Alright, so down into the FMC, we've got a 777-300 GE90 engines, current database down here. Position in it, we'll take the GPS position, and onto the route. We are going to request that one from SimBrief, set the payload, set the fuel, even though we already said we are going to update that, and select that route down here. So, route uplink is in progress. In the meantime, let's go ahead and insert our fuel manually. We said we wanted 20 tons down here to cover for the VATSIM factor. Alright, and we can load that. Okay, so Hong Kong to that airport, which name I have difficulty pronouncing, Cathay 488, slightly different call sign as already briefed. Right, looks like all those uplinks are here, excellent. Then let's go ahead and start loading them. So we start on runway 25 left, and our departure is going to be via the Ocean to Bravo departure. I do like that name. Alright, so then landing on runway 09, and suppose we can do... How about we just do an RNAV approach this time? Do they have one here? Yes, they do. So something slightly different. Alright, Port 1 Alpha arrival. And that seems to be this one, and the arrival leads us to... Let's just quickly head into here. So, port... Well, looks like that is actually already going all the way to the final. Perfect. Well, then we're gonna activate and execute that, and a quick check of our route. So we got Ocean 2 Bravo towards Ocean, Victor 3 Envar, Mike 750 Dardon, Golf 581 Porsche, and that is looking good. Alright, excellent. Then let's go ahead and check our departure, making sure that we actually have all the required constraints in there, because in Hong Kong, yeah, here we go, there's already some waypoints where you have speed restrictions without altitude restrictions. So let's go ahead and work on that. And looking into the chat there, Swimming Climb, will I be getting the 727? Yes, I will. However, I didn't get the preview version because in order to get that you would have to attend a briefing where they tell you what you can say on your stream, and I, well, first of all was flying that day anyway, so I had no way of attending that even if I wanted to, but on the other hand side I prefer to have a fresh look at the aircraft without getting previously briefed from the developer on what to say about the plane, you know. So I'm going to get it on the 6th when it's gonna come out, so that's gonna be Tuesday. Alright then, looking into the route itself, we got prawn minimum 205, maximum 230, so let's go ahead and change that speed up here. So we'll take 230, below 5,000, Rumsey at 230, Trout above 140, and then on towards ocean, so that's looking good. Right, loading up the wind data. Execute that, and the descent forecast data as well. Alright, so that good stuff is here. We don't need any nav aid, so we can just keep that on automatic. Then, ground distance 426, and according to the plan, we have 428. Okay, transition altitude 9,000. Where is it on the chart? Here it is, transition 9,000, looking good. And then we can continue with our performance. Accept the uplink. So, cross-check the uplink nonetheless. Reserves should be 8.4, and it is. Cruising altitude 370, cost index 30 are both correct. Minimum fuel temperature is going to be minus 44, not that it would make a difference over here, and the cruise CG 30. Okay. Noise abatement procedure 2 is already entered in here. That's perfect. We are certainly going to do that way. Okay, so that's most of the setup done in the FMC. So I suppose we're just going to leave it over here and then do the rest of our flight deck setup. So, broadband system on, ADRU on, switches all on, voice recorder on, emergency lights armed, and fueling is complete, so the seatbelts can go on, no smoking auto, lights are all off. Over here, everything's checked, the fuel to remain selector is in, and everything done, and the same on the right hand side over here. Leading us down to our main panel. So, a quick skip through all those systems. You've seen me do that stuff so often already that I am not all too worried about explaining every single step here. So, ADIS request, and we're gonna take Hong Kong from the VATSIM ADIS, and we can take automatic updates, please. Send. Okay. So, that's that part. Then we can continue on. Right side, airport, traffic, and both VORs. We'll wait with the QNH until we get the ADIS down here. And then we can go down here. So the PMDG still has a little bug down here. In order to hear something on VHF2, or on the right VHF, when you're flying on VATSIM, you gotta enable listening to the center VHF. That's a PMDG bug, well, hopefully gonna be fixed in the future. Alright, here comes our weather. Hong Kong information, Sierra, departure runway 25 left, wind 210.9, visibility more than 10, clouds few 3000, temperature 32, QNH 1005. And here we go, 1005 and 1005. Looking good. Alright, so since we have already gotten the ADIS digitally, we can simply tune 1215 in here, and we don't need to tune the ADIS. Regarding the active ATC frequency, I'm just going to leave that blank for the time being so that we can do our briefings and everything without getting continuously disturbed by ATC. Alright, and that's our setup mostly done. Armrests can of course come down, and well, that's it. Okay, so, are you ready for the departure briefing? Well, I'll tell you what, before we do the briefing, let's go ahead and get the clearance. So, departure clearance request. Facility is going to be Hong Kong. Information Sierra, and we're at gate Echo 7. So, free text, well, let's make it a good evening, since that's what it is over in Hong Kong. So, Cathay 488, facility Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to that other airport. Information Sierra, Echo 7, good evening, sent. Right, now let's go for the briefing. So, threats for the departure, I don't really have any. No. By the way, quickly answering two questions from the chat there. First of all, from Lockheed, has the PMDG 777 freighter entered beta yet? I'm under NDA, I can't say anything on that topic, unfortunately. Dan Frog, Emmanuel, will the 777 come with Pratt & Whitney and Rolls-Royce engines? The 200ER will. So the 300ER, the freighter, and the 200LR, which are basically the versions upon... or which are three of the versions that PMDG is going to do, only have the GE90 engine in the real world, but the 200ER, which PMDG is also going to do, that one has the GE90, the Pratt & Whitney, and the Rolls-Royce, so those two will of course be included in that package. But for the other three, the GE90 is the only option, so that's what you get. Okay then, on with the briefing. Time UTC 0802, altimeter 1005, reading 40, flight directors on, standby instrument set. It's going to be a left seat takeoff, 25 left, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2. In case of emergencies, we follow the SID and climb to 4,000 feet and enter a holding down at Ocean. Okay, so immediate return is possible. We are below the maximum landing weight, and runway 25 right would be the active landing runway for that. Now, in case of emergencies above 80 knots, I will only reject for fire or fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, aircraft unable or unsafe to fly, or any ICAS message. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers and disengage the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking, or verify operation of the RTO auto brake. Manually raise the speed brake lever, apply maximum reverse thrust, and when the aircraft comes to stop, I will set the park and brake. Okay, so if you call stop, I will note the brakes on speed, call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thrust towards normal indications. I call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, call in emissions, I will call auto brake, disarm, and select flaps 30 when the brake has been set, and advise ATC of the reject. Alright, once the aircraft comes to stop, we, first of all, sit back, take a breath, then analyze the malfunction and carry out any procedures as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we read into the evacuation checklist, and time permitting, you will grab the paperwork and then we get out. If the call before V1 is keep going, no actions below 400 feet except to cancel any warnings and raise the landing gear with a positive rate. At 400 feet, verify heading select, carry out the memory items. At the M4A, buck up, retract flaps and schedule, flaps up no light, level change, max continuous thrust, and engage the auto flight. And then we decide on the further course of action. For our taxi, we are currently parking on Echo 7, on November 7. November 7? Why does it say Echo 7 here? Interesting. According to the chart, it should be November 7. Okay. Either a bug in the charts or in the scenery. If any one of you knows Hong Kong, then do let me know which one it is. In any case, Pushback is going to be out of the bay, and then we'll taxi up here via Bravo, southbound, probably on Whiskey or Victor, and then down here either Hotel or Juliet for a full-length departure on runway 25 left. Our departure today is the Ocean 2 Bravo departure, straight out Prawn, left on Rumsey, 230 knot limit on both of them, and if we take a look into our speeds... Okay, we don't actually have them yet, but I think we can clean up all the way. Alright, and that's it. Contact departure when advised. Departure frequency according to the chart is 123.8. We can pre-select that down here. And that should be it. Any questions? And Jedi01, it's November 7 according to real world charts. Okay, so then the scenery is wrong down here. Or they renamed it after the scenery was released. That could of course always be the case. Neither would surprise me. But okay, for now, pre-flight checklist, please. So, oxygen, tested 100%. Flight instruments, heading 074, altimeter 1005, reading 40, set left, set right. Pre-flight checklist complete. Okay then, seeing that we have still not gotten any clearance yet, let's go ahead and request it from tower. It's going to be 18.4.
Juliet 10, line up and wait, runway 25 left.
Ah yes, Juliet 1024, thank you, line up and wait.
Hong Kong Tower, good afternoon, Cathay 488 Heavy, information Sierra request clearance.
Cathay 488 Hong Kong Tower, stand by for clearance number 3.
Okay,
Cathay
looks like they are rather busy it seems.
Have you got any stand presence?
Alright, and Brian Davies in the comments. Hong Kong changed its gate numbers. The scenery has the old gate numbers. The gate numbers were changed when the new small concourse with the skybridge was opened.
Cathay 160,
okay, thank you, Brian.
Whiskey 42 is occupied. Have you got any other stand?
Is there anything around Whiskey 42 that will do? Cathay 162 Heavy.
And Skyradar, hi, any update about the 77M releasing to MP? I honestly don't know what you're asking about. My apologies.
Whiskey 40 via Tango, Bravo.
Okay, so in any case,
Whiskey 1 today.
I'd say we just about call for GSX pushback already, then we'll be good to go as soon as they have our clearance ready. So prepare for pushback and departure, please. Alright, and while that is going on,
are you ready for departure?
Everything is set up here. Let's say hello to our guests.
2-4 taxiing to holding point. Stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of Cathay, welcome aboard our flight 488. Flight time today approximately an hour and 5 minutes, and we expect to cruise at an altitude of 11,100 meters or 37,000 feet. We expect a mostly smooth flight and an on-time arrival, and for now we would like to thank you very much for being our guests today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make your flight more enjoyable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our cabin crew.
Hong Kong Tower, good evening, Sky 542, establish LS25 right.
Okay, so passengers are dealt with, and then, look into the comments.
Station calling Hong Kong
Trip
Tower,
the Deep is asking why the flaps extended after rejected takeoff. Okay, so that's because of our overwing exit over here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a 777 pilot, but I do believe that if an evacuation is necessary and the passengers evacuate onto the wings, then they would slide down the flaps to get down to the ground. At least that's how we did it on the 737. And I can't see any indication that there would be an inflatable slide over here, like for example the Airbus A320 has. So I do believe that's how they do it on the 777 as well. So you run out the wing and then you slide down via the flaps. For that reason, in case of an RTO, the flaps are getting extended and you simply don't lose any more time if you decide to evacuate later on. On the other hand side, if you decide that you don't need to evacuate, well, you can always just go back and retract them again, right?
Super 24 contact, Hong approach on 119.
Okay, actually, I just learned that there is a slide in place there, so forget what I just said, there actually is a slide located over there. Interesting, so where exactly is that slide located then? Because it If I look at the paneling over here, then I can't really see that. But interesting.
Hong Kong Tower, good evening, Cathay.
Alright, well, so be it. By the way, thank you very much to a befriended pilot of mine who apparently seems to be watching along.
Readability 5, red brick
Okay.
shuttle 657, new clearance is ready.
So, apart from that, let's go right back to the cockpit and then see if we are gonna get any clearance in the meantime.
25 left, clear for takeoff.
25 left, clear takeoff, function 525.
And Nick F, the slide is on the door like in the A330.
Hong Kong Tower,
Interesting, so the slide would deploy all the way across the wing? Are you sure about that? I mean, on the other ones, the slides are in the doors, yes, but I'm just wondering about here. Because that would mean the slide has to inflate all the way aft and then go down.
10 kilometers or more. Fuel at 3,000 feet. Temperature 32.
Okay.
2.27. QNH 1006. No significant change.
Was that call for Cathay?
So then, with that out of the way, hopefully we're gonna get our clearance anytime soon. And I'd say let's just already go ahead and prepare that aircraft. So, ground operations, let's see, down here everything is removed. The jetway should, yeah, it is removed already. So, ground service vehicles, release all, door management, close all. And KMZR 93, the slide is under the windows,
Cathay
just past the
400
wing.
standby.
Okay, but where? I mean, shouldn't there be a panel or something over here?
Shuttle 524 contact Hong Kong
Well,
approach on 119.
I don't know, we'll find out.
1971, Hong Kong Shuttle 5.
Okay, so apart from that, cabin crew also... Well, what's the correct call for the Boeing? Cabin crew, arm doors? I don't know. All doors in flight. We'll do it. We'll do the Airbus way. Probably easiest. Okay, so our parking brake is set. Chocks removed.
Saudi 6654 now requesting IFR clearance to Charging International.
Saudi 6654 Hong Kong Tower, standby for clearance number 4.
Standing by number 465.
Alright, so how about our clearance?
Shuttle 657 Hong Kong Tower.
He seems a little bit overloaded at the moment, doesn't he? Even though there are
Shuttle
some larger
657,
breaks in
your clearance
between,
is
but...
ready. Are you ready to copy?
Yeah, we already got the clearance, but we already approximately the channel at 657. Yes, now we already got
that shuttle doesn't seem too happy either.
Kaohsiung, Ocean 2 Bravo departure, squawk 3525.
Ocean 2 Bravo departure was 2525 from the shuttle 657.
And Nick F, in regards to the slide, an overwing escape slide assembly consisting of a dual-line ramp with dual-line slides is contained in the exterior compartment in the wing body fairing from the FCOM.
400,
Okay,
Hong Kong departure ATIS.
gotta be that one then, right?
Roger,
Well.
Cathay 400.
Yeah, Hong Kong 40 right, breakfast next week.
Okay, so,
Hong Kong 408,
our clearance,
taxi
please.
to holding point Kilo 7, runway 25 left via Lima, Lima 3, Kilo, QNH 1006.
Hong Kong 40 right, down point 25 left, Lima, Lima 3, Kilo, Kilo 7, QNH 1006.
Cathay 900, are you ready to copy your clearance?
So, new ADIS. Information Foxtrot.
Cathay 900,
Arrivals 25 right.
to
Yeah,
Taipei,
that's the arrival ADIS.
Ocean
We
2
don't
Bravo
really need that, do we?
departure, squawk 3574.
Great to Taipei by Ocean 2 Bravo departure, copy 8,000 for Cathay 900.
Cathay 900, read back correct. Information.
Okay, so he gave clearance to at least 2 other people now, so we were supposed to be number 3, so hopefully we are gonna get our clearance any moment now. Okay, in the meantime, let's go ahead and do our performance. So 199.9, and that is exactly as planned. Excellent. So 219.9 looks okay to me. Let's go ahead and do our performance.
Sierra 45.
So Hong Kong, runway 25 left.
Skyhaven 543,
Import.
code Sierra 54.
Calculate. So QNH 1006 it seems now.
45, 543.
Okay, so takeoff at 66 degrees.
Sierra 45.
So 89.6, 89.5. That's close enough.
Foxtrot.
Flaps 5 takeoff. We'll take the CG right from here. 4.75 versus 4.87. Close enough. Speeds 44, 50, 57.
Skyhaven 543, taxi via Charlie 5, Delta, Yankee.
And here we go. 140 in case we need to return.
Whole shot of hotel.
That's good enough.
Sierra
Alright.
45.
Taxi.
Well, let's just go ahead and do
05,
the rest of the
Delta,
procedures as well then.
Foxtrot, Tango, hold, Hotel, Gate 054, Skyhaven 543.
Requesting IFR clearance.
2 station calling up, 1 station calling for clearance, call sign only.
Dom Cockpit.
Ground from flight deck. Go ahead. So, camera pressurize the hydraulics. FM, you clear to pressurize. Roger.
FedEx 2605, surface wind 27, caution, surface wind 2.
So, trim 4.75.
7 knots, runway 25 left, clear to land.
And yeah, we'll just have to wait with the transponder until we actually have our IFR clearance. Okay, so let's do the before start checklist already. Flight deck door,
Hong Kong 48, ready for departure.
closed and locked.
Air Hong Kong
MCP
408,
157, 254, 5000. Takeoff speeds 144, 150, 157. CDU pre-flight complete. Trim 4.75, 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Holding at beacon.
Manage 30, confirm you're asking for IFR clearance. Dynasty 930, Hong Kong Tower, Roger, stand by for clearance number 2.
Number 2, so want to take a bet if you forgot us?
Cathay 900, startup approved, pushback color blue.
So let's just see if we actually have those pushback colors.
And Hong Kong Tower, very good evening. Honeycomb 851.
Yeah, we do. Excellent.
All
Alright, so
request our clearance to Tokyo Narita as filed. We have information Romeo.
I just have a feeling that we gotta fight for our clearance now.
IFR clearance.
Listen to that. A guy requests clearance, and the moment he's done with that, the next guy calls in.
Roger, Honeycomb 8512.
Cathay 488, when can we expect our clearance?
Cathay 488, you can expect the clearance now. Are you ready to copy?
Affirm.
Cathay 488, clear to Kaohsiung, Ocean 2 Bravo, departure, squawk 3535.
Cathay 488, clear to Kaohsiung via the Ocean 2 Bravo departure, squawk 3535, and we're ready for push and start.
Cathay 488, read back correct, and startup approved, pushback color blue.
Cathay 488, startup approved, pushback color blue. Okay, here we go. So, Ocean 2 Bravo, 3535, 5000.
Cargo Lux 16, Hong Kong Tower,
flight deck.
for clearance
Go
number
ahead.
3.
So, we clear to push, color blue, park brake set. Roger, release brakes.
Super Flight 1 requesting IFR
Brakes
clearance
released.
to Kaohsiung for the second time.
Did that guy literally call himself Stupid Flight 1?
Clearance is ready.
But yeah, that seems a bit much for the controller at the moment.
Stroke
First Flight 1 requesting IFR clearance to Housing, third time around.
Damn, that's... Cockpit Flight 1 is really annoying.
Stupid Airline Flight 1.
Air Hong Kong 408.
Okay, so
runway 25 left.
we are
Lining up
clear
the wing,
of
Super Flight
the
1.
road. Let's go ahead and start
Negative.
engines.
Air Hong Kong
Right, engine start.
408. Line up and wait, runway 25 left.
Airline 408, line up and wait, runway 25 left.
And Dynasty 930, are you ready to copy your clearance?
Yes, sir.
Dynasty 930, clear to Kaohsiung, Ocean 2 Bravo departure, squawk 3543.
Yes, sir. Kaohsiung via Ocean 2 Bravo, departure 815, Corsair 3543, NSC 930.
Hong Kong 4, Emirates 42 Lima, radio check.
Emirates 42 Lima, Hong Kong Tower, readability 5, break, caution, Dynasty 930, read back correct, information Romeo, and...
Okay, that's a good start on 2, starting 1.
210 degrees, 7
Left
knots,
engine
runway
start.
25 left, clear for takeoff.
Stroke First Flight 1, this was the fourth time I'm requesting IFR clearance to Kaohsiung International.
Oh man, that's strange. Cockpit Flight 1, or however he calls himself.
Start up
It's annoying.
Color blue and squawk mode Charlie.
Stroke First Flight 1 requesting IFR clearance.
Oh boy.
Hong Kong Tower, Cathay 400 with information Romeo requesting IFR clearance to Taipei.
Okay, I gotta show you something, guys. I gotta show you something.
Cathay 400.
That's quite unbelievable.
Tower, standby for clearance number 3.
Look at that.
Roger.
So I wasn't too wrong that he calls himself Stupid Flight 1. He actually calls himself Dumb Fuck. Yeah, well. What can you do about that, huh? That's lovely. Okay. That's, I was a little afraid that Reddit would turn it into something, but honestly, a guy calling himself Dumb Fuck in the... No.
All station, contact ground 122.55.
So, ground 122.55.
Correction, all station on the ground that's not on the runway, contact ground 122.55.
Let's change over to there already. Alright, so, pushback is complete, finally! Brake is set. Oh, and, oh boy, Philip Mitchell's just found out that there is actually someone with a call sign Stupid One. Okay, so I wasn't too mistaken about these guys.
Correction, that's 2 stations at 1, break. Cathay 400, clear to time.
Alright, so 2 good starts.
Departure, squawk 3531.
And the brake is set, excellent. Let's go ahead and do the procedures.
Clear to Taipei, Songshan via
So, flight control check.
Ocean 2 Bravo, squawk 3521, Cathay 400.
Full up,
Cathay 400,
full down,
brake out of station,
neutral.
clearance call sign only.
Full left, full right, neutral, rudders,
Canvas 16
full
on
left,
ground, hello, clearance to Kaohsiung, Ocean
full
2
right,
Bravo departure, squawk
neutral.
3560.
Ocean 2 Bravo, squawk 3560.
Okay, before taxi checklist, anti-ice, auto, recall, checked, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist complete.
FedEx 2605, welcome to Hong Kong. Taxi Kilo 4, Kilo Lima 1 Lima, and do you have any stand preference?
I'm on a brief FedEx 2605 and we got so far Kilo 4 Lima, Lima 4 for stand.
FedEx 2605.
Alright, so.
That is Taxi Kilo Lima 1 to Bay X-Ray 3 Romeo.
Kilo 4 Lima 1, Lima 4 X-Ray 3 Romeo FedEx 2605.
And Hong Kong ground, a very good evening, Honeycomb 8512 Heavy, we are on stand X-ray 12, request our clearance to Tokyo Narita, sir.
2 stations, 1 break on upon 8512 Hong Kong.
Little busy over here. Let's hope that we can actually get clearance, a taxi clearance at some point in the meantime.
Roger, Honeycomb 8512 cleared to Narita, Ocean 2 Bravo departure, squawk 3515, Honeycomb 8512, and we are ready for push and start.
On upon 8512 squawk for Charlie.
All block flight 1 requesting IFR clearance to Kaohsiung International.
Ground NSC930 ready for push.
SC9030, thank you. Startup approved, pushback color red.
Push approved color red, NSC930.
Cathay 488, request taxi.
All block flight 1, all block flight 1 requesting IFR clearance to Kaohsiung International. All block flight 1.
That's 3 stations at 1 Cathay 488, confirm requesting taxi.
iPhone.
Cathay 488, taxi Bravo 7, Bravo 9, Bravo hold short of whiskey, QNH 1006.
Bravo 7, Bravo 9, hold short whiskey, QNH 1006, Cathay 488.
On upon 8512 start.
Okay, 1006 is set, and then
Pushback color red, Honeycomb 8512.
The station calling.
taxi Bravo 9, no, Bravo 7, Bravo 9,
Kitchen.
2 stations again, Cadillac 16.
and Bravo hold short of whiskey, so until
All
here.
block flight 1 requesting IFR clearance to Kaohsiung International.
Oh, block flight 1, if you aren't going to stand by, you're not going to get it any quicker than spamming the frequency, so please stop.
That guy is trolling for a while, a supervisor is working him.
Okay, travel route 16 ready pushback.
Alright, so,
Cadillac 16.
here we go, finally.
Pushback color red.
Ready pushback.
Cadillac 16, confirm pushback color red.
Pushback red, travel route 16.
If they ready for pass.
Okay, that's cabin ready.
Taxi left onto Hotel 8, holding point Juliet.
Before takeoff checklist? Before takeoff checklist complete.
1006.
I tell you what, weather is not an issue today. We'll be using terrain over here. And in case you guys are wondering what I've been writing about in the background there, thanks to his call sign, I just called a supervisor for that guy, and he's being worked on. It's apparently the same guy with all the with all those strange call signs. The same guy all over.
Good evening, Skyhaven 543 with you. Text to stand here.
Okay, so it's going to be left off then onto Bravo, and then hold short of whiskey.
Skyhaven 543 Hong Kong ground, hello, country taxi Tango Hotel, Hotel 7, base Sierra 45.
Continue Tango Hotel, Hotel 7, stand Sierra 45, Skyhaven 543.
Hello, block flight 1.
Again, if you're not going to stand by, you're not going to get it any
Hong
quicker.
Kong ground Cathay 400 requesting push and start at 10 whiskey 42.
Cathay 400 squawk vote Charlie, please hold standby for your push traffic behind.
Okay, so straight out, hold short of Bravo, and then we are going to...
Can I have a squawk code on block flight 1 and 8?
Stand by.
Ground, good day, Thai 607, send November 64, information Romeo, request by
So, whiskey is at the end of the terminals, perfect. So we just go straight to the end of the terminals now. Let's make it a live taxi chart, that makes it somewhat easier. Okay, so following the 777 in front of us. So, information Foxtrot, well, that's arrival stuff, we don't need that. I think we can terminate the automatic updates here.
Forward for Cathay 5, analysis, bye-bye.
So 625, sorry, say again.
Where's that 777 coming from? Just to be sure that FS traffic didn't mess up again. Remove. Oh boy, I clicked that already before we started. Yeah, sometimes FS traffic is strange. I don't know what it is with FS traffic. You click remove traffic, but it just seems to regenerate it after a time. So if we have to click that a couple of times here during the flight, then, well, so be it.
Dynasty 930 taxi, no, correction, taxi, whiskey 2,
Okay, I think that's whiskey over here.
H1006.
That was a little harsh braking. I kind of saw that terminal and thought we had to taxi over there, but that's whiskey over here.
Cathay 488, left turn to whiskey, hold short to Victor 4.
Left turn whiskey, hold short Victor 4, Cathay 488. Okay, so we'll just make that turn first and then we'll find the taxiway later. Okay, so on to the left.
On ground, Cathay 584, request IFR clearance.
Gotta find Victor 4 then.
Cathay 584, home for ground, hello, standby number 3.
Standby, Cathay 584.
Cargo looks 16. Available for taxi.
Cargo looks 16, thank you, taxi, Lima 3, Kilo 7, holding point runway 25.
Okay, hold shot Victor 4, and Victor 4 is probably somewhere down here. Over here, Victor 4. Okay, so hold shot of that taxiway. Excellent.
Dynasty 930, come to taxi, whiskey, hotel,
Blue Rider.
11, holding
Kannst du
point
Deutsch?
runway
Ja.
25 left.
Okay, the scenery is indeed from WF Scenery. Really good one. I do really like their stuff. So just give me a second, gotta answer that supervisor here again.
Cathay 4008 for push, correction, startup approved, pushback, color red.
Push and start approved, color red, Cathay 400.
Cathay 488, contact taxi, whiskey, hotel, Juliet 11, holding point runway 25 left.
Whiskey Hotel Juliet 11, holding point 25 left, Cathay 488. So that's probably just going to be following that guy in front, but just to be on the safe side here. So Whiskey Hotel is first left and Juliet 11 is the full length. Excellent.
Cathay 584, clearance available.
Cathay 584, ready to copy the turn.
Cathay 584, clear to Taipei, Tiger and Ocean 2, Bravo departure, squawk 3505.
Okay, so clear left side and clear right side, and then the next one on the left is going to be hotel, and then we almost have it.
Dynasty 930, contact tower 118.4, bye bye.
Alright, next left, and we're clear on the right side as well.
Only Boeing 8512 heavy, we are ready for taxi.
Daro, is there any update on the 777 for Marketplace? None that I'm aware about, but I have to admit I didn't follow FS News much in the recent days, because I've mostly been flying. Just had a 6-day Africa trip, now 3 days Canada, so I'm really kept busy over here.
Good evening, Qantas 128, requesting IFR clearance to Sydney with information Romeo.
There are 2 stations at once, Qantas 128.
Okay, so let's review the takeoff briefing. It's going to be a left seat takeoff, 25 left, flaps 5, north statement procedure 2, takeoff speeds 144, 150, 157, and what else are we going to do?
We'll go with 370. Actually, we'll go with 330.
Emergencies, follow the SID, standard SID, climbing 5000, and speed restriction 230 initially. We will be able to clean up all the way, and that's it. Any questions? No? Superb.
Cleared Ocean 2 Bravo.
So Juliet 11 is going to be the second taxiway on the right, and then we will be ready to go.
And initial climb for Qantas 128.
And does the 777 has an option for a system like an S for Airbus? No, it doesn't. All you can do is to go onto the en route chart, take it from there. 118.4, Cathay 488, bye now. Okay, so Juliet 11 is the second.
Good job. Good evening. Good evening, Ken.
Alright, and the other
Hong Kong Tower, good evening. Cathay 488 Heavy, ready for departure.
Cathay 488 Hong Kong Tower, roger.
So, 25 left, Juliet 11.
30 contact Hong Kong, approach on 119.1, good day.
119.1, good day, Cathay, correction, NSC 930. Hong Kong Tower, cargo Lucas 16, 07.
Cargolux 16 Hong
Okay,
Kong
parking brake
Tower, are you
set,
ready for
departure frequency 123.8, we can pre-select that.
Cargolux 16, roger.
Here we go.
Cathay 488, line up and wait, runway 25 left.
Cathay 488, line up and wait, 25 left. Approach area is clear.
Hong Kong Tower, very good evening. All
Cabin crew, prepare for departure.
Heavy on taxiway, kilo holding point, kilo 7.
On it's on 8512 Hong Kong Tower, roger.
Hey Claudio, nice to see you in the comments. We're flying on the VATSIM event that's taking place in Hong Kong today. Unfortunately, I have a little difficulty pronouncing that destination. But just check on my.vatsim.net and over there you'll find it. Otherwise, as soon as we're off the runway, I'm happy to look that one up for you as well.
Cathay 488, surface wind 220 degrees, 8 knots, runway 25 left, clear for takeoff.
Cathay 488, runway 25 left, cleared for takeoff. Takeoff. Thrust set.
80 knots.
Checked.
V1. Rotate.
United 869, vacating Charlie 5.
United 869, Hong Kong
You're up.
Tower, welcome to Hong Kong. Have you got any stand preference?
No, not really. United 869.
400.
United 869, contact.
So we have LNF and V now.
122.55, good day.
2255 here, United 869.
Right, accelerating, 230 knots, flaps 1.
Contact. Hong Kong departure on 123.8, good day.
123.8, Cathay 488, good day.
Cargolux 16, land and wait, runway.
Flaps up. Speed checked. Hong Kong departure, good evening. Cathay 488 Heavy, passing 2,000, climbing 5,000. Right, flaps up. Off the takeoff checklist. Off the takeoff checklist complete.
NSC 930, target check. NSC 930, reach you 5. Correction, climb to flight level 2. Confirm the altitude for NSC 930.
2,000 to go. Vertical speed. Hong Kong, good afternoon. Cathay 488 Heavy, 3,600, climbing 5,000. Hong Kong departure, Cathay 488, do you read? Okay, autopilot on.
Super left, select for takeoff.
Tower Cathay 488, negative reply on 123.8.
Cathay 488 from 123.8.
There is nobody responding on 123.8 Cathay 488.
Hong Kong Tower, good evening. Market 78, final runway 25 right.
Smart Cat 718.
Alt.
Hong Kong Tower. Service wind
Enough.
220 degrees, 8 knots, runway 25.
Alright, so
25 right, clear flight to Market 78.
let's see if he comes back to us. He doesn't. Okay, we'll try that one more time. Hong Kong departure, Cathay 488 heavy, Ocean 3 Bravo departure, maintaining 5,000.
Cathay 488 identified.
Now it
Audio
replies.
from left is acting up for me. Climb now 9,000 feet.
Climb now 9,000 feet, Cathay 488, no problem. Set, 9,000 check, VNAV.
Proceed direct ocean.
direct ocean, direct 930.
Okay, direct ocean would be great now. We'd certainly take that as well. Even though I think they wanted to take us clear of the islands over here before we can get such a direct. Approaching.
Hong Kong departure, cargo to the
Speed, vertical speed.
Departure, safe passing altitude.
Okay, so out of Rumsey we can start accelerating.
Carlos 16, identify climb via SID to 9,000 feet.
Number by 9,000.
So,
Cathay 488, climb via SID to flight level 250.
Cathay 488, climb by set, flight level 250. Set. 250 checked. VNAV. Okay then, so. Something I was about to say that looks really good, because the scenery definitely does, but the airplane is just a little bit reflective, don't you think so? But that's something that I've noticed with a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft. And Daft Duck, did I just say ocean for my call sign? No, for the SID. And Leon Sellers, in the 737, is the maximum distance you can create a new waypoint from using an existing one, for example, waypoint /-10, 15 miles? No, not that I'm aware of. Okay, set standard. Let's see, fasten seatbelts. Yeah, we can release them.
16, climb by SID to flight level 250.
Okay, so the previous is going about here. I guess that's what we are gonna get as well then.
Cathay 488, proceed direct ocean.
Cathay 488, direct ocean. What did I say? Well, that was good timing. Okay, direct to ocean. Here we go. FMC message, alternate list uplink. Yeah, thank you for that. Not that we would need it. Okay, so we are finally out of Hong Kong. And 1 CAG, is the 777 autopilot reducing the rate of climb to 1,000 feet a minute or less before reaching the selected altitude? No, not automatically. Not automatically. But the 777 does have a feature that when you are close to a new altitude and you select level change, then it would automatically reduce thrust to achieve a lesser rate of climb, I think to reach the new target within 1 or 2 minutes or something the like. Can't really demonstrate that today, unfortunately, because the clearances just don't match it. But let's say if we were level in 15,000 and should climb to 16,000, if you then dial in 16,000 and press level change, then it's just gonna climb at roughly 1,000 feet a minute, a little bit less actually. So it does have some sort of protection. But when we have a clearance like right now, when we're approaching 250, it's just gonna stay at the present vertical speed or whatever it has in order to maintain the indicated at that point. And that's about that part. So G Walker, what's the Airbus equivalent of waypoint -10? Exactly the same. So for example, if I wanted to create a waypoint prior to ocean, let's say 20 miles prior ocean, then we could do ocean / -20. Enter that in here, and you can see now we've got a new waypoint 20 miles prior to ocean. And you could do the same in the Airbus, except for the copy paste, of course. Right, let's override that again. Don't need that artificial waypoint we just created. And here we go. And Critic Varma, is it correct that some A330 goes into direct law in flare mode, where many A320s and 30s have normal mode? No, that's not correct. What is correct is that the A330 does not have an artificial pushdown, and that it stops the automatic trim when you pass 100 feet radio altitude in the descent. That is correct, but that's not direct law. It does actually have some tail strike protection in that waypoint. Did I just say in that waypoint? Of course in that feature I meant. Even though that's undocumented, have to admit that. Okay, onto the weather radar now. We don't need terrain as we're en route. And the same goes for the FO side. And Daft Duck, is there a chance that you fly to Vegas in real life in, let's say, exactly 4 weeks? Just asking for a friend.
Contact Hong Kong radar 127.1, bye-bye.
127.1, Cathay 488, bye now. Hong Kong radar, good evening, Cathay 488 heavy, flight level 223, climbing 250.
Cathay 488, Hong Kong radar, climb to flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370, Cathay 488. Set. 370 checked. Okay, does he have CPDLC? Yes, he should. Victor Hotel Hotel Whiskey. Let's give it a try.
Cathay 776, reset on
ATC, lock on Victor Hotel Hotel Whiskey. Cathay 488, Hong Kong to the other airport. Sent. No idea if that's going to work, since CPDLC does seem to have problems on VATSIM, but we'll give it a try. Oh, here we go. ATC com established with Hong Kong.
Oh, to Hong Kong approach 119.1.
That is excellent.
0133 away.
So, going all the way to flight level 370, looking into here, that's recommended as well. 230 miles to the top of descent. Nice. So, going back to Daft Duck's question, is there a chance that I fly to Las Vegas in real life, let's say in exactly 4 weeks, just asking for a friend? There is a chance, but the duty plan has not been released for that time yet. So we always get the duty plan at the 25th of the month for the next month. For that reason, I can't tell you what I'm going to do in September yet. I'm only going to learn that at a later point. Okay, lock on accepted. Current unit, Hong Kong radar. So yeah, our duty plans only come out at the 25th of each month for the next month. We do get a preview at roughly the middle of the month, around about the 16th. And in that preview we get to know when at least one block of off days is going to be, and when and one flight of the month, but which flight that is, we don't know. Or rather, I don't know in advance.
Increase speed 300 knots. Second speed, Diva 891. Diva 891, speed 300 knots.
Captain White, do I use DirectX 11 or DirectX 12? I use 12 in order to be able to use the frame rate generation.
Carvalus 16 Hong Kong radar, climb to flight level 290.
Number 290,
Cathay 776, request descent.
And Daft Duck just asking, we'll fly on September the 1st.
Station calling, take a call sign. Cathay 776.
Well, I don't know. Actually, what I do know is that I have a reserve duty on the last day of the month. So chances are that I will have reserve on the first as well, so I might get the flight or I might not. We'll see about it. But if I fly to Vegas, then I'm gonna make a little post on. Then I'm probably gonna make a little post.
Airback Alpha arrival, then C009.
Hong Kong Shuttle 178, speed 280 knots, descend to flight level 260. Descend to flight level 260
and Artexa, hi, what does check and consider warning recall mean? It is in my 737 descent checklist and I don't know what to do with that. Honestly, that is not Boeing language. You don't have a warning recall in the 737, you have a recall for the cautions, but not for the warnings. In any case, what they probably mean with that is that you should do a recall and consider any message that comes up, so for example, any malfunction that comes up when you do the recall. But it's pretty badly worded. And Jake the Afjeek, how's the ebook coming along? Almost ready? Yes, almost ready. I finished writing the standard flight 2 days ago. Gotta take a couple more screenshots that I have to insert for some explanations, and then I have to proofread it, or rather then I have to find people to proofread it, and well, thereafter it's gonna be ready for release. How long that's gonna take? Very difficult to say, honestly, because I don't have experience with it. So, if the proofreading goes well, I guess it could be out in 2 weeks' time, or maybe even in 1 week. But I'd rather count. Well, what I can promise you is that it will be out this month. But for the rest of the process, I just don't have experience. I can only make an uneducated guess, just like you could. So that's what I can say about that. And Critic Varna, I noticed my flare goes to 10 degrees pitch in the Phoenix, which leads to a float. Should I keep 5 degrees? Well, I recommend you to check out my landing tutorial for that airplane. But in general, don't flare it, until it enters a stall like you would do with the Cessna 172 on a landing. But fly the airplane controlled into the ground. But 10 degrees pitch definitely is a lot. But I did notice with the latest... Just a second, proceed direct to Envar. Accept. Envar, here we go. Okay, with the beam points, please. Execute. And accept it. Okay, so what I did notice with the latest Phoenix update is that the flare model has become worse again. The previous one was better in my opinion. It seems to be somewhat of a hit and run with the Phoenix updates. In one update it lands really nice, in the next one it's nonsense again, then the next one is really good again, and now we've gotten a bad one again, which makes the landing a little bit floaty. Just remember that stream from V1 simulations where you landed in LaGuardia and floated to the end of the touchdown point and then touched down with 1,350 meters remaining, Probably an indication that the plane is a little bit floaty at the moment.
When ready, descend to flight level 260, level by N10, speed 280 knots on conversion.
And somebody with a Cyrillic name. My apologies for not being able to read that. New sub here. Greetings from Lithuania. Thank you for the Comanche tutorial. It's invaluable. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, 1,000 to go. Vertical speed. Uncle Bart, hey, what do you think about Inibuild's A350? To be honest, I'm not 100% sure of what to think about it at the moment. They are very, very quick developing it, since they only started about, at the beginning of the year, and they want to release it this year. That seems very quick for me. I'm not sure what to think about that. It seems a little bit too quick, I'm a bit worried they might sacrifice quality for speed just to get it out this year. Because 1 year development time for an aircraft as complex as that is really, really little. Okay, Vina. And we're passing a beam that waypoint. Let's do a little fuel check here.
Speed 250 knots.
Okay, Abeam Rassi, 17 minutes, 12.5. We have 18 minutes and 14.6. We uplifted 2.5 extra, so we are pretty much running okay. On the fuel, should have used 5 tons to get here, and we have used 5.3 to get here. Okay. So let's check. Envar is the boundary for Taipei.
Cathay 565, defensive flight level 260,
Let's put that into here, and off we go.
260 level by
Alright. And here on Goliath, Amy, random question. Do you fly on DCS as well? No, I don't. I looked into it, and while it was fun to do low-level stuff with fighter jets, I just couldn't get my head around learning all of them properly. I just couldn't get my head around learning all the military stuff, so I stick to what I do well, and that's civil aviation. And Kudel, hey, your tutorials are really good. Thank you very much.
Sanity 009er, expect flight level 260 at MPET, report ready for defense.
And Nick F, I'm trained by a former 777 pilot, so I'm your guy to proofread it. Are you an English native speaker? And Lockheed, are you planning on making ebooks for more aircraft in the future? That will depend on how well this one is received. If people receive it well, then I might very well do that. Okay, so Takeoff below, because any danger that we could face is gonna come from below at the moment.
Hong Kong Shuttle 142, speed 250 knots.
And Bruits Mo, hey sir, I could hear you, I just departed. Nice. And Thomas Wiesigal, I'm late to the party, sorry. Any news regarding the 777 ebook? Yeah, it's gonna come this month, that much I can promise, but I still need to have people proofread it, and when that is done, it's ready for release.
Cathay 449er, defense CSR to flight level 130.
And Aviation TR, am I thinking of flying to Turkey? Well, I've just done a flight there on the 777, so so many great places to visit. I might probably visit Turkey again in another aircraft though at some time in the future as part of the holiday flight series. So that one's probably gonna see some flight to Antalya, but we'll see about it. I haven't decided that quite yet.
Cathay 9943, cleared Abbey to Bravo arrival.
And Nick F, can you send me an email to the email address that you can find on my channel's main page, on the About tab? That would be much appreciated.
260-2624.
Cathay 459er, Hong Kong radar, hello.
Okay, so, Coda 101, you definitely put out the best tutorials. How do you find the time, and will you do any level D sim tutorials?
Contact Hong Kong approach 119.1. Bye-bye.
Not 100% sure I understand your first question. How do you find the time? Oh, okay, I do. Sorry, I was mentally somewhere else. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I do, or a lot of the aircraft I cover these days, are things that I dealt with in the past already. So I'm flight simming for about 13, 14 years-ish. So I've seen a lot of aircraft types already. So that's that makes it easier to get back into them when new iterations of them come out for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But then, most importantly, you know, you do some 3 or 4 flights with them, following the FCOMs exactly. You can Google FCOMs for most aircraft types, and that's how I usually start to learn those aircraft myself. And for the tutorials, you know, I research a little bit online to get some.
150 Hong Kong radar, hello. Identified. Cleared Abbey to Bravo arrival.
I have a feeling that one is not real. Come on, FS traffic, remove.
Sanity 009er, defense to flight level 260, level by MPET.
Yeah. That is really annoying, FS traffic, that it keeps injecting stuff even though I hit remove all the time. Okay, yeah, so back to those tutorials, you know, I try to research some background info from pilots online. I watch a couple of videos from just planes, etc., seeing how those aircraft are flown, and trying to put the procedures I find in the FCOM into some relation on how they're actually applied, because reading the stuff is one thing, but understanding what exactly all that means and seeing how it's put into practice is always something else. So I try to put those pieces of information into context there. And, well, then I create the tutorials on it. To be completely honest, many of those tutorials are actually not only learning for you guys, but also learning for me. Because I do... Wait a moment, I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to find that email address. Give me a second here. Should do a little bit less multitasking, but give me a second. Nick F, I just put the email address in here. Alright, so now back to what I was about to say. So when I create many tutorials, it's also a learning process for me, because I do create them one by one. So after one is finished, I pause the simulator, review everything again ahead of time, and then create the next one. So that's really how I do it. And yeah, well, it is a learning process, of course, but keeping in mind that I do have the general aviation knowledge, and keeping in mind that I have the flight simulation and type variety background, then yeah. So Kel's Gaming, thank you very much for the $49.99 donation. Emmanuel, so good to see you, my friend. I hope you aren't wearing you out with you in real life flying. Can't wait for the freighter to come out, and hopefully the MAX soon. Absolutely, I really can't wait for it as well. The freighter is going to be a lovely one. It's going to make the variety of routes available so much more versatile. I'm really looking forward to the freighter. And one CAG, you learn yourself while teaching, is that what you wanted to say? Well, to a certain extent, yes. Of course, I review it all ahead of time, but you know, presenting it in that structural way is something that really helps me to learn as well. In general, I'm the type of learner who learns by explaining to others. And the feedback on that seems to be very good on the videos, so I'm pretty happy with that. It seems to work. But it's the same for me, for example, when I want to improve mathematics for an airline assessment. You know, my way of doing that stuff is to sit together with a friend, take out the exercises, and then I try to explain the exercises and what I'm doing to resolve them to the friend. And that is how I can learn those things myself. So yeah, that is kind of what I'm saying. Arne, hi, thanks for your videos. Can you fly to Kai Tak again in the future? We'll see about it. And Alex Patterson, are you testing the 777 freighter, or have they not started production yet? I'm afraid I'm under NDA regarding that, so I can't answer the question. And Thomas Wieselak, Emmanuel tricked me into buying lots of planes. Thank you. And Sir Kel's Gaming, do I have the 727 that everyone else has been flying around? No, I don't, because you had to attend some press event on what you can say about it beforehand, and I was flying on that day, and I found that a bit questionable anyway, so I'm not sure if I would have done it even if I had time on that day. Nonetheless, I'm going to get the 727 the moment it comes out, so I'm most certainly going to cover it in 2 days' time. Okay, we're getting close to the top of descent already, so let's go ahead and start having a look into our arrival airport. Well, first things first, we're going to grab ourselves an ATIS. So, flight information, ATIS request. Request. Then we can also update our forecast winds. On a short flight like this one is probably not necessary, but Well, and 1211 Ronin. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. That's exactly it.
Carvelux 16, report Mach number.
And Critic Varma, wouldn't the 727 be low quality like the Embraer from Flight Sim Studios? Well, I had a very short look at it at the FS Expo already and had some half an hour chat with Martin from FSS there as well, and it's done by a completely different team and to completely different standards, so we haven't seen any, let's call it, full-blown aircraft from Flight Sim Studios yet, but what I could see back then was promising, so I'm hoping that it's actually going to be okay. But of course the Embraer experience somewhat sits, but I'm positive that they are going to create something good over here. But we'll know in 2 days' time, and you can be sure I will cover it as well. Okay, so Kaohsiung information, Romeo at 1300 Zulu. Expect ILS approach runway 9, wind 240 at 7, slightly variable. Temperature 31, QNH 1007.
Cathay 565, speed 230 knots.
Okay, that's pre-selected. So runway 09 is in use. We said we wanted to do the on-off approach, so we are going to plan that. So let's see. I'm probably going to increase that descent speed a bit
Cathay
here.
489er, climb to flight Apollo 290.
So let's make that 300 knots. 240 below 10,000 is okay. Forecast is okay. Fix rings.
230.
Dynasty 930, contact Taipei 126.7. Bye-bye.
So 25-mile ring, and then let's start having a look into the legs page. So arrival star, we got the
Radar, good evening, Qantas 128, passing flight level 2304.
Actually, give me a second.
Qantas 128, Hong Kong radar, good evening.
I think we should clear that, otherwise we are not going to receive any ATC messages here when they come. So, alternate list uplink, yeah, thanks, not that we need it. Okay, let's go ahead and review that route. Oh boy, that's far too many ding-dongs here. So, contact 126.7, Taipei.
Cathay 459er, for sequencing, turn right, heading 330.
Right and heading 330 for sequence.
Taipei, good evening, Cathay 488 Heavy, flight level 370.
Cathay 488 got Taipei cancel radar count and flight level 370.
Maintain 370, Cathay 488. Okay, so there is no information in his controller info whether he has CPDLC, so we'll have to see about it. In any case, let's continue with our arrival. So we have the Porsche 1 Alpha arrival, and then we plan the RNAV approach runway 09. Airport info, parking charts, we need those as well. Cathay 488, say again. Direct to Grady, Cathay 488, thank you.
Cathay 488, descend and maintain flight level 310, report Mach number.
Cathay 488, descend flight level 310, Mach decimal 83.
Cathay 488, reduce speed to Mach decimal 80, bro.
Cathay 488, please confirm the Mach number.
Mach decimal 80, bro.
Mach decimal 80, Cathay 488. He's a little bit hard to understand. Okay, so Mach 0.80. And for the descent probably as well then. Here we go. Okay, excellent. So we are descending level 310 and then we can continue with our setup. So, Porsche 1 Alpha arrival leads us towards Kisin, and from there we start the approach. So, In here we've got Port, Orion, Kizin, and Kizin is over here as well. Then on to the approach, RMP 09er,
So radar contact.
starting in 3,000 feet over at Kizin. And then we will continue via Sozan in 1,700. Descend 3.07 degrees, which we have in here as well. Now that's precise. The 737 couldn't do it that precise. So minimums 553.
Cover 16 direct ready, radar contact.
Alright, and in case I missed approach, Kilo Hotel 091, maximum 240 knots, and then direct to Kappa, climbing 3000 and hold. We do have that in here. For the holding, it's 006, left turns 5 miles, and that's exactly what we have. Okay, looking good. So, 11 tons of fuel on the arrival versus 13 right now, so we use 2 tons, which is 211 on the landing weight. And then finally a quick look into the airport charts. Ah, that's the wrong chart. Let's go ahead and grab the right one. That's it. So landing 09, 3,150. I guess Delta is probably going to be a good exit for us, so that's roughly 2,000 meters down the runway. Let's go ahead and do some calculations here. Import the airport, runway 09, import details, flaps 30, and engine anti-ice, well, auto off, doesn't matter. 5 knots of VREF addition and auto brakes 3, no reverse. Well, I tell you what, we are actually going to use the reversers because it is going to be a rather short turnaround here. Calculate. 2,000 meters. Looks awesome. So, auto brake 3, flaps 30.
Traffic control, good day, Boeing 257, passing flap 10.
No notes, nothing in the recall. Looking good.
Boeing 257, traffic control, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Okay, so that's looking good so far. And maintaining 310, VNAV. Alright, I'll quickly say goodbye to the passengers and then we continue with our approach briefing. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We have started our initial descent towards our destination with a remaining flight time of about 20 minutes. The weather at the moment 31 degrees with a few clouds and an easterly wind. Thank you very much for choosing Cathay for today's flight. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did and we look forward to welcome you all again on board the future flight. Okay, back on ATC. No changes as far as I could hear. Then let's do the approach briefing, please. So, we are going to fly via the Port 1 Alpha arrival for an RMP approach runway 09, starting in 3,000, 3.1 degree glide. With that temperature, it's probably going to be a little bit steeper, so we'll have to see about our configuration management over here. Apart from that, MSA-wise, what do we have?
128,700, what's the right?
MSA 12,100. The airport's located at the sea level at 32 feet, but we have high mountains up to... Cathay 488, descent flight level 150. Set. 150 checked.
150 position, speed 270 knots.
I'll tell you what. Vertical speed 1,000, 300 knots, here we go. Okay. So the Dynasty is in front of us, he's just gotten speed 300, then we should probably be going good at that as well. Okay, so, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the moment.
Cathay 488, speed 285.
Cathay 488, speed 285. Okay, well, that works for us as well. Alright, excellent. So for the approach itself, it's going to be a flap 30 approach. I'm using auto brakes 3, a maximum reverse in order to help keep the brakes cool. Vacate the runway to the right, and I don't remember any hotspots for the taxi in. Yeah, 1 over here. And hotspot 1, what is that? For 777-300ER, if taxiway Alpha or Bravo available, aircraft shall taxiway Alpha or Bravo instead of Golf to avoid damaging the pavement. Okay. Alright, so they don't want us into here. They want us into either here or here. And not into Golf. Okay. Can live with that. And for the hotspot itself, pilot must exercise caution while crossing hotspot. Yeah, wow. That's incredible information, isn't it? Wonderful charts. Alright, so, that much about the briefing. Any questions? No? Excellent. Descent checklist, please. Recall, checked. Notes, checked. Auto brake, free. Landing data, VREF 137, minimums 553, set left, set right. Approach briefing, completed. Descent checklist, complete. And Claudio, unfortunately the time zone in Australia is killing me right now. I come back tomorrow to see your approach and the return sector. Enjoy the flight. Well, thanks Claudio. Looking forward to see you again and your next tutorials as well. And Circles Gaming, Emmanuel, I picked up the new Global Trees HD from OrbX. Pretty nice. But I'm going to check them out soon as well. They do certainly look pretty good in the screenshots, so if you say they're worth it, then I'm definitely going to give them a look as well.
China Airways 999, sorry, you're calling?
And Tritic Vana, what happened to the X-Plane 12 video? I know it's not fancy, but just have some variety in the content, and your views on X-Plane 12 new improvements.
Hang on.
Honestly,
Cathay 488 speed 270 now.
Cathay 488 speed 270. Here we go, 270. Honestly, Critic Vama, I think the next X-Plane 12 I'm going to cover is going to be when the Tolis A330 comes out. Because other than that, people didn't really seem to care too much about my X-Plane videos. For that reason, I just dropped doing any further ones. Of course, if interest does come up again, which I'm 100% sure with the Tolis A330 is going to be the case, then I'm definitely going to check it out again. But until then, probably not. And Departing the Fix asks, how are you achieving the scrolling action around the flight deck? I'm not 100% sure what you mean with scrolling action. Could you maybe go into a little bit further details?
Cathay 400 clear to Songsan, Hotel Lima Golf 1 Echo Arnhem arrival.
May you please repeat your last sentence for Cathay 400?
Cathay 400 clear to Songsan, Hotel Lima Golf 1 Echo Arnhem arrival.
And Peter Mathia, is FS traffic worth it? I installed FSLTL yesterday, but it's messy with too many go-arounds and close calls and a large performance hit. The performance hit was my reason to change from FSLTL to FS traffic as well, and my FS traffic is certainly giving me better performance than FSLTL used to, but the steering of the planes itself still happens largely based on the MSFS engine, and I'm afraid it is still pretty messy at times. I have the feeling it's not as bad as it used to be beforehand with FSLTL, but on the other hand side, if you can get FSLTL together with a flight radar traffic injector, then that's definitely worth it. But I don't think there is a legal source for the flight radar 24 traffic injector. But don't quote me on it. I basically dropped it because of performance, so I might be mistaken there. And Departing the Fix, how am I panning around the cockpit? I'm using the mouse for it. So with a right click, I can just pan around like that. And if I just click the mouse wheel one, then I can continuously pan around. But I mostly use the right click. Formula 1 Forever, welcome to Taiwan. Thank you very much. And Skybound Archie, hey Manuel, how are you enjoying the 777? how would you compare it to the PMDG 737? I'm most certainly enjoying it, as you can probably tell by my videos over the last month. How would I compare it to the 737? Well, it is of course a different airplane. Even though, you know, some things like the MCP or the displays look similar, it is a completely different airplane. You have to realize that when you...
Cathay 488, increase your descent rate.
Cathay 488, which rate of descent do you need? Gotta change.
If able, maintain flight level 150 before grading. So, I think you can make about 2,000 feet per minute or greater.
Cathay 188, we can do that. Grady level 150 needs 1,400 feet a minute. Is that fine with you?
That's fine.
Roger. So that was an easy exercise. On the VNAV descent page you can enter a waypoint and an altitude. And if you enter them both, like this, then the plane tells you exactly which flight path angle and which vertical speed it needs in order to reach that. So that's basically what we've done. I've entered Grady at 150, and it tells me that it needs a vertical speed of 1,339 feet a minute to reach that. So we're doing 1,400, and as you can see, we're going to reach 150 perfectly at Grady.
240, not the 340.
340.
Alright, so here we go. And to answer the question from before as to how I would compare the PMDG 737 to the 777, well, the 777 is more advanced in most aspects. Only some real-world aspects of the actual aircraft would make the only some real-world aspects of the 737 FMC that, or rather of the 777 FMC that are less advanced than the 737. For example, speed constraints are stuff that I would, you know, consider inferior. Apart from that, the 777 really is better than the 737 in pretty much any case, honestly. Alright, seatbelts coming on. And one CAG, a good friend of mine is about to finish his captain training on the 777 freighter with LH Cargo. He will take me along on the flight this fall. Really looking forward to the jump seat ride. We'll get the 777 freighter. Man, you've got a ride in front of you. Enjoy it. I'm sure you're going to love it. And Nick H. Lately the A300 from IndyBuild has a few bugs, and with each update old bugs get squashed and new ones introduced. They may have overstretched themselves. Nah, well, first of all, yeah, I do agree that they do introduce new bugs with each update, but they also do a good job on fixing previous ones. So, you know, I would say it's 3 steps forward, 1 step backwards. So I think they are doing quite well.
Traffic control EVA 3911, wind climbing, flight level 240.
EVA 3911, traffic control, radar contact, client maintain flight level 340.
737 flight sim guy, hello. Well, in case of default X-Plane 12 planes, is the A330 worth flying in VATSIM? I've done a video where I've analyzed the plane, but I never tried it on VATSIM, so, you know, whether it's worth taking a plane onto VATSIM or not is a hard decision, because depending on your personal skills, in some cases you know, in some cases you can, and it kind of comes down to the individual skills of the pilot, you know. I would recommend to give it a try, see if you like it, and if you do, then just try it. Maybe not in a busy event at first. Man, it's kind of hard for me to listen to the ATC and talk at the same time, because Asian accents are not something that I'm very used to, so I have a bit of trouble understanding him there. And Peter Mathia, was my transition from the 737 to the A330 difficult in terms of Boeing versus Airbus philosophy? No, not at all. But keep in mind that I worked with Airbus for a long time in flight simulation already, so I had a basic idea and could focus on the particularities of the aircraft during the type rating. but I tend to say I started into it with a good flight simulator knowledge of the airplane, which I don't want to compare to real-world knowledge right now, but I started into the rating with a good flight simulator knowledge of the Airbus, and so I could really focus on the specialties of the Airbus in my type rating. But overall, the type rating was real easy for me. And a lot of fun, I have to add that. A lot of fun, that's for sure.
About 195 Cathay, Taipei approach 125, decimal 1.
And Brewhits Mo, hey sir, is it possible to call your name on the radio? Nah, sorry. And das Innere vom Brötchen. Man, that's a lovely username there. I'm still afraid of flying in VATSIM. If you want to start flying in VATSIM, I do very much recommend you to check out the beginner events. They have those first wings events going on almost every couple of weeks, so check those out. They will give you a mentor there who's going to advise you and help you get into it. And I've also done a tutorial series on flying in VATSIM. Maybe check that one out as well. But overall, give it a try. Don't fly at the busiest airports initially, but search yourself.
124 approach 124 decimal 7.
124 decimal 7, Cathay 488. Bye.
Bye.
So, information Romeo. Caching approach, Cathay 488 Heavy, flight level 164, descending 150, inbound Grady, speed 270 knots, information Romeo.
Cathay 488 Gaussian approach, expect RS runway 09, descend and maintain 1000, QNH 1007.
Expect ILS 09er, descend and maintain 1000, QNH 1007, Cathay 488, request ANAF approach 09er.
Cathay 448 Roger, expect RNF 09 approach.
Expect ANAF 09, Cathay 488. Set 1000 checked, set QNH. QNH 1007 cross check, passing 15,300, now. Approach checklist, altimeters, QNH 1007, approach checklist complete. Okay. And das Innere vom Brötchen. My hometown is Munich. Well, you know, maybe don't fly in Munich for the busiest events in the beginning, but fly at some smaller ones like Stuttgart or Nürnberg, or maybe Dresden, Erfurt, Paderborn, Dortmund, Bremen, Lübeck. Maybe those airports initially. That's going to make it a little bit easier for you to start. Have a look online, maybe on a tool like VATSpy or VATGlasses, in order to see where ATC is online, and then just search yourself some small airports which have ATC coverage and practice over there. Just don't fly into those super busy events initially, because you are not going to have fun over there, you know. Start getting into it on the smaller airports and then work yourself up into the bigger ones, and then get into the busy events. And Fernando Del Val, do you write your departure clearances?
Cathay 488 direct Keeling.
Very Keeling, Cathay 488.
Dynasty 930.
Okay, Keeling. Execute. LNAV available, LNAV.
Cathay 488 resume normal speed.
Cathay 488, resume normal speed. I'm just going to keep the 270 knots here, that's going to make it easiest.
Cathay 3 Whiskey Charlie, contact highway control 1.
Okay, Arky, am I excited for the Inibuild A350? Yes, most certainly I am. I really hope it's gonna become good.
Cathay 488 descend and maintain 6,000.
Cathay 488, descend and maintain 6,000. 6,000 set.
Caution approach, sunset 2056, passing flight level 6,000 feet of cut.
Lufthansa 2056, Taipei Pushback, Kaohsiung approach radar contact. Proceed direct Paris, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Direct Paris, maintain flight level 220.
Okay, so, Fernando, we got interrupted. Do you write your clearances,
2056,
like your departure clearance or taxi clearance down? Yes, of course I do. So,
200, Lufthansa 205.
let's put it that way. What I do in VATSIM is slightly different from what I do in the real world. In the real world, I write the departure clearance down. Well, we do get it via ACARS 90% of the time. In the remaining 10% I write it down. What I do in VATSIM is I write that stuff in the scratch pad. Especially for the departure clearance, I write it down here in the scratch pad, then verify that I've done the correct inputs everywhere, and then I just remove them again. For the taxi clearances, the same, I write them down in the scratch pad, and that way I have them readily available whenever I need them.
Cargo X16, descend 1000, QNH 1007.
1007, descend 1000, IS09,
Dynasty 930.
Skype on Archie, when ATC says climb to something, is it an unrestricted climb or do you have to follow the SID? Well, normally follow the SID, but ask them. If there is a conflicting restriction, say for example they say climb to flight level 150, but there is a 10,000 foot restriction, then ask him if it's an unrestricted climb or not. But normally ATC should say something about that by default, but if not, always ask. That's always your easiest take. Right, passing 10,000. Lights coming on, signs are on, altimeters are set, checklist is complete. So, since we're about to fly an RNAV approach, RMP 0.3, vertical, RMP will make it 125, that way we get a warning from the airplane when the deviation becomes too much. Okay. So the approach starts at Kizin
direct to Paris for EVA Air 849. Thank you.
in 3000 and then 1700 by Sosan. Excellent.
Cargo Lot 16, direct Kizin.
Minimum's 553 and that's it.
Cathay 488, descend and maintain 3000 until Kizin. Clear RNAV 09 approach.
Cathay 488, descend and maintain 3000 from Kizin, cleared RNAV 09 approach. Set, 3000 checked. Okay, a couple of clouds over there.
Descend and maintain.
Oh, the cabin should be ready anyway by now. Talk about the devil, here I am. Cabin ready. I promise I did not practice that beforehand. Okay, Well, the airplane wants to reach Kizin, yeah, just above 3000. From Kizin to Sosan we have got 8 miles. Yeah, we'll probably be using a little bit of speed brake in a few moments to slow it down, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Overall, the VNAV profile seems to look okay. But something I really found in the 777 is that you usually need to help it a little bit, even in a no-wind situation like right now. It doesn't seem to do the deceleration part of the arrival as well as the 737 does. Even though that seems to be realistic, apparently the 777 doesn't do these things that well, even though it will somehow get you down. But the speed brake seems to be a little bit of a useful tool in there. Talk about speed brakes, we're just about leaving the path a bit to the top, so let's give it a bit of speed brake.
Dynasty 930, compare tower 118.7.
So ATC cancelled our speed restriction earlier. We've...
Cathay 488, reduce speed to 200 knots.
Well, here we go. Cathay 488, speed 220 knots.
Cathay 488, negative 200, 200.
200, Cathay 488. Flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1. McFly, hi. Greetings to Frankfurt.
56, Contact target control 126.7. Good day.
126.7, Lufthansa 20.
Okay, well, looks like we gotta help it a bit.
Cargo lag 16, resume normal.
But that's what we got a speed brake for, isn't it? Just look at that. Descending at 1,500 feet a minute, and then decelerating with a trend vector that's larger than 10 knots. That's how I appreciate an aircraft. So, this might be a little bit turbulent, but nothing to worry about. Okay then, let's see. The tower frequency is going to be 118.7.
Smart Cat 720 airborne passing 1,200.
Smart Cat
Pre-selected.
720, approach, radar contact. Proceed direct ProArt. Climb maintain flight level 200.
No thrust, please. You go back to idle,
Proceed
my
direct
friend.
ProArt, flight level 200, Smart Cat 720.
Okay. Autopilot off. Let's have a bit of fun manually. We're cleared for the approach. Starting out of Sozan.
Cathay 488, resume normal speed.
Cathay 488, normal speed. Well, now we can just leave the speed up. Or we could go flaps 5 already and start reducing. Because why not? Here we go. You can see that even though I've opened the speed window, the profile stays on VNAV path already. That's because the airplane is already in the on-approach logic. Alright, starting the final turn. Alright, keys in, we can go down to 1700 for the FAF, but I tell you what, I kinda prefer just to set the minimum straight away. So let's fly it onto the final. Ooh, what's the VNAV path doing here? A little bit reactive right now.
Cargo lag 16, descend and maintain 3000.
Okay, so
Clear ILS runway 09 approach.
minimum is set. We are in VNAV path, speed intervent. Looking good to me. Missed approach altitude 3000, so at 2700 we can reselect the MCP altitude.
Cathay 488, contact tower 118.7 today.
118.7, Cathay 488, good day.
By 2, clear to Hong Kong via Paris to Alpha RNF departure. Tango 7 RNF transition. Golf 5A1, 5 route. Maintain flight level 200 initially. Squawk 2657.
Okay, here comes the profile.
And not transition. Mission climb at level 200, 42657, feedback.
Paris 352, confirm departure via Paris to Alpha departure.
Paris to Alpha, feedback.
And here we go. Alright. That's actually quite a big city over here, isn't it?
Cathay 546, request push and stop. Cathay 546.
Okay, we're 3000 below the missed approach altitude, so missed approach altitude 3000 set. Gear down, flaps 20.
Push and stop cruise, Cathay 546.
Checked. Tower, good evening. Cathay 488 Heavy, RMP 09er.
Cathay 488, station tower, runway 09, wind 0, question wind 240 degrees net, 5 knots, finish 1007. The number 2 clear to land. Landing traffic is vacating.
Cathay 488, QNH 1007, clear to land. Runway 09. Okay, flaps 30. Speed checked.
Dynasty 930. Taxi via Echo and Sierra Bay of channel choice.
Taxi via Echo, Bay of Joy, then Nigeria. Cathay 446, request push and start.
Cathay 446, Stand by for
Okay, here we
pushback
go.
50.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Tower.
Oh, that's quite a thermal over here.
246, stand 521. Aircraft type Airbus.
I do have to say, the scenery looks really good over here, doesn't it?
1007.
I think it looks really good. Okay, so puppies are showing 3 whites.
1,000.
Checked. Rate of descent just about 1,000. That's okay.
752 request pushback and stop.
Sky 756, stand by for pushback.
Okay, 752.
This looks really pretty.
Any Navy 246, stand by for clearance.
Too bad I have to focus on flying the plane. Oh man, and look at that. Couple of aircraft waiting there. Okay, flight rector off.
50 above.
Destination 936, get ready for departure immediately.
Continue.
Roger.
Cathay 488, if able, vacate the runway after landing as soon as possible. Thank you.
Sure will. What else would we do?
100.
FedEx 352, runway 09, pushback and still approved.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Destination 936, runway 09, line up on the way.
Okay, speed break up. Thrust was normal.
Cargo route 16, Kaohsiung, Southern Tower, the continue approach.
Okay, we've got 60%.
Minimum.
Manual brakes. That's a... Oh boy, a guy spawning on the runway.
437 ready for taxi.
Is that our troll again?
47, runway 09, taxi by Alpha 2 and Alpha.
Via Alpha 2 and Alpha 2 runway 09er, Dragon 437.
Alright, and here we are. Vacating onto Delta as planned.
Radio check SAS 246.
And we really couldn't do it any faster than that.
936, runway 09, wind 240 degrees, 5 knots, finish 1007, clear for takeoff. Cargo route 16, runway 09, clear to land, wind 240 degrees, 5 knots, finish 1007, number 1, and the departure traffic is rolling.
Interesting that they do give landing clearances here with preceding departures still in progress. I only know that the US do it otherwise, but this is gotta be the second country where I noticed this kind of procedure. Cathay 488, runway vacated.
Cathay 488, any preferring bay or stand?
Negative.
Cathay 488, roger, the bay 12, taxi via Sierra Golf and Hotel.
Bay 12, Sierra Golf Hotels, Cathay 488. I think Golf is the one that they didn't want us to go on, isn't
Cathay
it?
546, request taxi. Cathay 546, runway 09,
Let's just
taxi
see
via
that.
Alpha.
12. That's the domestic terminal.
Alpha, Cathay 546.
Oh well. I should probably have told them something, but I thought they would figure that on their own.
Cathay 4...
Well, we'll ask him.
Correction, Cathay 780, copy clearance.
Cathay 760 ready to copy.
Last time. NFC 936, contact option approach 124.7, bye-bye.
Okay,
Thanks for cooperation.
I'm thinking right now whether I should ask him about a different
Cathay
stand, but he
780, copy
seems
clearance.
rather busy.
Cathay 760 ready to copy.
But I have a feeling that gate 12 is not gonna fit a 777 if it's at the domestic terminal here, and if the charts already say don't use Golf if Bravo is available.
Maintain available 200, initially spot 2660.
Clear to Hong Kong.
Just to make sure that FS traffic is not blocking anything here.
Transition, maintain flight SO 200.
No, it's not.
Confirm 2660, Cathay 780.
Okay, well, we're on the ground already, so...
Spot 2660.
Copy, Scott 2660, Cathay 760.
Yeah, there is a couple free stands over there. Probably gonna ask for one of those. Cathay 488, any chance for stand 21 or 22 instead?
The Cathay 288, Bay 21 is available. Taxi via Sierra Golf Alpha and Alpha 1.
Thank you. Sierra Golf Alpha Alpha 1 stands 2-1 Cathay 488. Okay, it's still via Golf, but so be it. So that guy just gotta get moving now. Probably a pushback from the cargo apron here. I guess we're waiting for him to collect taxi clearance. Okay, well, so...
Cathay 433, runway 09.
Small wait there. Park brake set. I'll tell you what, APU running, shutdown right engine. So, GSX, request, gate number 21, and that is not too small, my friend. Handling by AFA Airways sounds good to me.
Cathay 753, request pushback and start.
Cathay 753, runway 09, pushback and start.
Alright, so, on the ground already. Then, let's have a look,
Cathay 753, copy.
Cathay 433.
Let's have a look into the chat then. Circled Gaming, Emmanuel, when was the last time you flew in China? Lol. I love having to do conversations. Oh yeah. It has to be a while. I don't really remember when, maybe half a year or a year ago or something the likes.
Cathay 433, runway 09, wind 240 degrees 5 knots, finish 1007, clear for takeoff.
Unified Memory, hey Amy, I'm just curious, have you ever flown the iFly Max in P3D or never touched it? The latter, I never touched it.
Scandinavian 243,
information, Sierra.
And Przemyslav, is the food good on the airline I work for? Oh yeah. I like it, especially the business class food. Alright, going a little further up, Dev Josh, is it even allowed to give another plane a landing clearance on a runway while another plane is on it? It depends on the country. For example, in the US, they are allowed to do it. In Canada as well, even though they refrain from doing it whenever they can.
Can you say again a little bit slower or send by text, Scandinavian 246?
Scandinavian 246, sorry, stand by. Cathay 433, connect out and approach 124.7, bye-bye.
1247 on approach.
So, engine shutdown, TCAS off, that's all copied.
Scandinavian 246, I said for your last transmission, your...
okay, so...
5x5.
I'm gonna go left Golf, Alpha, and then Alpha 1 into the gate.
Cathay 629, runway 09,
and I think someone just locked on over there, huh?
Scandinavian 246.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. APU is running, we keep the lights for now. So, Golf is coming over here. Even though they don't want us to use it, we'll do anyway. And someone just locked on our gate. Well, we'll take the one next to it, doesn't matter.
Crossing tower, Scandinavian 246, stand...
okay, so, left over here.
Aircraft type A320. Information Sierra. UNH 1007, request IFR to Hong Kong after card.
Scandinavian 246, stand by for clearance.
Stand by for clearance, Scandinavian 246.
Okay, next right onto Alpha. What did he give us hotel? No.
Cathay 446, request push and start.
So what? Dennis 930, say intention.
Okay, so right on the Alpha.
Dennis 930, say intention.
Spain 930, we expect Spain 25.
Dennis 930, roger, hold position, hold short of Alpha.
Also Alpha, Dennis 930.
Okay, we definitely don't fit into there. Not with the aircraft that just locked on.
Runway 05, runway 09, wind 240 degrees 5 knots,
yeah, tell you what, we might have to take one of those outside stands here.
Runway 09, Cathay 629.
Cathay 753, press taxi.
Anything we can do? We're not gonna fit into there, are we? No. We don't fit into any of these.
runway
Over there, everything is blocked. Yeah, I tell you what, we gotta go over here. It doesn't help it.
Alpha to Alpha.
Even though if we now park here, that means we are going to block this taxiway. I have a feeling this airport is definitely not made for the amount of traffic it receives right now, especially not for the amount of heavy aircraft.
Let me check.
I tell you something. We are not really gonna fit here. Seems pretty busy at the moment. What I'm gonna do is I will just disconnect from VATSIM over here. Then we can at least take the real world gate for this one. And if I'm completely honest with you, I will probably have to end the live stream after this flight. I plan to fly back, but it's probably not gonna work out time-wise, because we are just taking a little bit too long over here. I hope that within 4 hours we could do both sectors, but seeing that it's 10 past 4 my time already, we are probably not gonna make the time back by 6, so we'll probably have to end the live stream anyway, so might as well just log off and take a realistic parking here. Okay, so left over here. Pretty nice modeling here, seeing that this is an airport that I never heard about even exists and that I just literally bought for this live stream. It's looking pretty good. It's looking really pretty good. Okay, so lights are coming off. We're gonna take the next stand over here. Number 22. So, change parking facility, gate 22. No follow me needed, handling by Eva. So, 777 on the guidance system. And 777 is the forwardmost spot on that parking. Can nicely see that down here. Oh boy, feet. Really feels like I'm hitting the pushback tuck here. Stop. Alright, parking brake set, APU running. Here we go. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, the engine is running down. Well, then let's go ahead and shut the airplane down entirely. Okay, beacon going off, and that's done, that's done. Transponder, standby, and 2000. Wrong buttons. Here we go. Standby 2000, parking checklist. Park and brake, set, shutdown checklist complete. Alright, GSX, request deboarding please. Thank you. And in the meantime, going down here, we've got ground operations, set the chocks please. The jetway connection should automatically be requested. Ground power, air conditioning unit. And here we go. Alright, so disarm all doors, open 2. There's 2 jetways here, so it should be number 1 as well. And then we can go for aft cargo, bulk cargo, forward cargo. Well, and with that, all I can say is welcome to Taiwan. I hope that you've enjoyed this flight with us, and if you did, be sure to leave your feedback in the comments below. For the reason mentioned before, we are going to cancel that return flight, but hopefully we are going to fly into the area in the sooner future as well. And Formula 1 forever in the comments. RCTP, SS and QC are also just as good on the quality. Well, we're gonna look into it. Not today, but hopefully another day. And someone with a Chinese name, my apologies for not being able to pronounce it properly. Am I gonna fly to Shanghai at some point? Yes, definitely when the freighter comes. That is gonna be one of my freighter routes for sure. Alright then, with all of that out of the way, all I can say is thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope that you've enjoyed the live stream. Give me your feedback in the comments below, and I am looking forward to see you all again on the next one. I've got another couple of full flights coming up in the holiday flight series, and I'm surely also going to do a couple more tutorials over the next time. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'm wishing you all a very good weekend. See you all again on the next one. And finally, a little question here from Chow. Hi, what does normal speed mean? That basically means you can fly your own speed, as you wish. So he basically releases any speed restrictions from you at that point. So, thank you very much, everyone. I'm very much looking forward to see you all again on the next one. Maybe in the next couple of days already, and hopefully with the 727. In the meantime, thank you very much, and I see you all